Welcome to week 5.5. I'm actually on week 6 of radiotherapy for HPV type 16 tonsil cancer. And this is my video update. Hopefully, I'm looking okay. This is the worst week. And the reason I haven't waited till the end of the week, because I've only got 2 days left of treatment, is that on one hand, my consultants and everybody at Rosemere says I'm doing amazingly well because I haven't been feeding myself through a tube or a stomach plug. And I can talk, but actually I've only just got out of bed. So I'm talking to you at 6 o'clock at night. So I went for my treatment today. I drove myself there. Turns out driving is actually not bad at all for me, which I'll explain later in the video. If you don't want the gory details of this, don't wait till the end of the video, because I'm going to tell you a few of the things that have happened this week that have been new to me. But if you're having more serious treatment than me, maybe you're having 2 sides of your throat done at the same time, or if you've got a bigger tumor, mine's a stage 2, then I'm having relatively mild treatment. So I'm a walking, talking anomaly as far as they're concerned, because I'm still working and I've got right through the treatment on my own. But I'm going to tell you some of the symptoms that are cropping up now, because I'm sure this is what people would have experienced earlier. But for everybody else that don't want those details, I'd just like to say I'm soldiering on. I think I'm doing okay, but I'm being really respectful with my tiredness. I'm trying my best to go to sleep, but it's not that easy. It's also not easy to be kind on yourself, as people keep saying, because I find it, if you distract yourself like I'm doing now talking, I can take one of my drinks and that's got some energy stuff in it, and I can talk and keep my mind off it, drink, and I forget that I'm drinking. But if I try and drink that drink while I've had nothing on my mind, I just can't do it. But I'll tell you about that in part 2. So for the mild-mannered, the ones that want to be in a good mood, this is where the video stops for you. Thanks for your concern. I can't tell you how much difference I know that it's now making for me to get through this. Your sincere well wishes that are coming my way, I really, really appreciate it. And if you're ever thinking of sending a little message or a love heart or anything to anybody else, please do it, because it makes a big difference. And it's not that thing about ringing. I haven't got the energy to speak to everybody who wants to speak to me. So just a little message now and again is a big difference. And I now realise that social media has a really good part to play in health and well-being, and you don't need to do much. It's just nice to know that people care, I guess. So thank you very, very much. Right, now for stage 2 of this, which is to tell you what's actually gone on this week. From Monday, I've just been really bad. I haven't been able to take any more calories than eating 2 of these a day. That means I'm surviving on, at best, 800 calories a day. That's not good. I need 2,000. I can't do it. If my life depended on it, I can't do it. It makes me feel sick. The way that my saliva glands have stopped working means I've got snot running down the back of my throat all the time. If I go to sleep or I lie down and my head's back, that snot congeals and then you think you're choking. So you need to keep some liquids going down, but it's disgusting. It's not your stomach that's making me feel sick. It's all up here in my throat. Now, if I had the choice of having to feed myself with a tube or a stomach peg, I would just take it. So if you're having any more serious treatment than me, take that option, because at least you can keep your calories, you can keep your weight on. I've not been able to keep my weight on. Luckily, it's not going much more down. I'm about 13.5 stone now, but I can see it in my face, and it's not good. And I could have avoided that if I'd have been feeding myself through my stomach, because I could have taken more calories. That said, there are some positives, because I'm if I was not swallowing at all, I wouldn't, who knows where I'd be with my throat. So it is pros and cons. You'll have to ask your consultant, and it's massively down to how you are, how clear your throat is, how big your throat is, how healthy you are otherwise. But my position now, by Monday, I had constipation. And if anybody's had serious constipation, you'll know what these are. And they're laxatives, but I couldn't wait for those laxatives. And I don't need to describe what went on. But when constipation's serious, fuck, it's serious. Yeah, that's one part of this that I'll never forget. It's almost laughable because it puts you in a ridiculously bad situation to have to sort yourself out, but it's just bad. So I should have taken these earlier, but I didn't think I was taking any calories, so I didn't need it. And also, my pain relief has been based on penicillin, and so penicillin, liquid penicillin. So that's not supposed to give you constipation. So it sort of came from nowhere, really, because I'm not eating and that. But it was rock hard. This is the description. Now this is 2 days to go. I've got a different pain prescription, which if people know what these is, they'll know how serious these can be. I'm fully aware of the addictive nature of these as well, so I'll only take them if needed. But I'm getting close to needing it, not just for energy, but because I need to keep swallowing. If I don't swallow, that mucus builds up, and then you lose your airway. So you need to have no pain, so you do keep swallowing. That's what I've learned this week. The tiredness is there. Driving, for people that are concerned about me driving, and I understand why you would be, because I was at the beginning. For me, as a driver, I find it very therapeutic, not to the point of falling asleep. It's just about right for me. And when I've thought about it, I've done most of my traveling without the radio on. So my mind's active because I'm looking at the traffic. I know I need to concentrate more than normal, so I'm making up for it. But while I'm doing that, I'm quite alert. So I told Zach's rally car for 2 hours on Saturday to take him rallying. I told him back on the same day. And we did all the rallying. I was out in the cold and everything was fine. But it takes a toll on your body. So when you do, the next day, typical, come Monday, I was just floored. But I have been able to carry on working. So if, because when I've got some energy, like I chose to do this to wake myself up a little bit. Otherwise, I'd just be moping around. So doing something, keeping your mind active is a big deal for me. And like I say, I have 2 days to go. The consultancy team are poised, ready to feed me through a tube. But I'm doing my best to not do that. So I'm looking forward to 2 days. I'm not going to do an update probably of this nature unless things get worse. Because this is as low as I've been. And I've got to say that darkness, that depression thing comes back as well. With that tiredness comes that darkness that when you're closing your eyes and you don't want to, if somebody just said, oh, relax, you can't relax when I don't even want to say it, but you're not willingly going to sleep. You're going to sleep against your will, and there's something unholy about that. So, yeah, that's how I feel. It's a scary point of when you're going to sleep against your own will. But then I'm learning to relax and get into it a bit. And when I wake up choking, I've got a routine to get myself back. So what I wanted to say is it isn't easy, and this week's become real. And I've had an easy journey of it. I know I have. And I can tell that an awful lot of people, most people, have a far worse ride about this than me. And maybe what they experience is this times 2, because if they're having both sides of the neck done at the same time, it's twice the problem. I'll show you that because I've been hiding it so far. But on my neck, you can see the relative burning and scarring. Apparently, that's good. It doesn't feel sore, but I'm on painkillers. It actually is very tender, but there's no lesions or there's no blood or anything. And apparently that's quite normal. So it looks like a really bad case of sunburn. A lot of people are a lot worse than that. I'm also now, you can maybe hear it in my voice, but because my saliva glands are not working, there's now a really gooey substance in my mouth, which is best described as being snotty. And then I know I need to spit that out and not swallow that mucus. So I've started just cleaning my mouth as often as I can with water, but it's painful. So for anybody going through this, considering I've got 2 days to go, I would say it isn't as bad as I first feared, nowhere near, because I've done 3 weeks of it with almost no symptoms. the last couple of weeks with it, being very mindful of it, I've worked most of the way through it, albeit that I'm working half days and sometimes, a couple of hours at night, and I've done things on weekends, but I certainly haven't been in bed all day, other than this week. In fact, today is the first day I've spent all day in bed. So best to look in your treatment. It's manageable. You can see I'm up, I'm around. If I've got determination around me, I'm not letting it beat me. But I feel for people in my position now. I'm vulnerable now. When I'm around other people in the ward, in the centre, I can see it with the nurses as well, the way they look at me. But I can't really engage with anybody anymore. I've got no emotional spare capacity in me. I'm just looking after myself at the minute. And obviously that's my recommendation to anybody that gets into this. In the end, you just need to look after yourself. You can't do anything for anybody else. I'm trying to, whether it's, one of the big ones is admin. I know I'm going on a bit, but I'm trying to share my journey so you might prepare yourself better than I was. I got a parking fine type thing come for going over Wallasey Bridge without paying £1.80. And I opened it up, and it's just because it didn't work on the day with the app, and it's a 60 quid fine. And it's like, I can't do it. I can't face going online and going through that. You have to be in the right focus to be able to do that, let alone that I think it's unjust. So I feel like I can't fight for myself. So anything to do with admin, opening post, I've got to do the VAT return for the business. Those things are, you're just not in the right mood to do it. So if I needed help with anything, it wasn't driving. It's not somebody being next to my bed mopping my head. It's the practical stuff. Like, I don't know if anybody could have done the VAT return, but I needed to clear my desk of everything and walk away from admin. I like filming, so I like parts of my job, and that motivates me, and I'm okay at that. I can actually concentrate on editing because I like it. I'm enjoying it. I love it. But when it comes to the boring stuff, geez, like I say, paying a parking fine, I've no will in the world to do it. So, yeah, I suppose sorting your finances out as best you can. And I'd almost recommend not opening the post, because if 2 or 3 things come in the post, it'll overwhelm me. It'll affect my state of mind, and I could just do with not doing that. So if you can get anybody else to open your post, I'd do it. Right, that's it. I'm not finishing on a sad note, because I'm counting my blessings. I've got through this, and I'm going to be ringing that bell. I can't even say that phrase without getting emotional. So God knows what I'm going to be like on Friday, but wish me luck. And I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope it's going to be full of fun and laughter for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.